Hello and welcome back to Warhammer Wednesdays. We were briefly away with Traveller, but it's come to a stuttering standstill, and we're back with Warhammer. We will at some point return to Traveller, so all those Traveller fans, please don't fret. We'll be back with a group at some point. But tonight we are starting session 0 with our new campaign. This is our second jaunt into 4th edition Old World, and instead of Once Upon a Time in the Old World, we're moving on to Shillings and Crossbones, which is mostly going to be set at sea and around the north in Nordland and Norska. And maybe later on in the campaign, if we get the material, there may even be a voyage down to Lustria or something. I'm sure we can do something. But anyway, we'll see how it goes, see if people like it, see if the crew like it, and we'll see how that goes. So as you may know or may not know, I am your GM, and I am called Jim. Jim, I was called Jim because I was jolly. Or so they say. Jolly Jim, Jim Jolly. Jolly Roger. No. Okay, but and I'm talking crap already. It didn't take long, has it? So anyway, these are my players. We are going to eventually have another couple. One should be joining us quite soon, and we've got Dan coming back, not as Mordek, but as another character. He'll be joining us when one of the games stops. As like us all, he cannot overdo role-playing games at night time. Most the other half does get involved. Right, so yar, and welcome to our seafaring adventure. Welcome to Shillings and Crossbones, and this is my crew so far. So we'll start with Aaron. Aaron, so tell us what you're thinking of playing.
Well, I actually had quite a few character concepts in mind. I know that shocks people who know me, but originally I was considering taking the path up for a priest of Stromfells, but they're just a little too vicious, perhaps a little too on the evil side of evil to make that work. So then I was looking at either a gnome wizard, because there are so few gnomes played out there, or a halfling hunter. And I'm kind of tossing up over either one of those. So if somebody there in the chat has a real strong opinion, let me know. Other than the players here, because I already know their opinions.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll move on to Dan. Dan, I believe you have a bit of a better idea what you're playing.
I absolutely know what I'm playing. I am playing a Norse dwarf officer of the fleet. Ship captain. Well, he's a midshipman, obviously, to begin with, but he likes to think of himself. He calls himself Captain Craggy Sternhelm. He has a backstory. He had a ship once. It got sunk. He's a bit upset about it, as a dwarf would be. And he's a bit like he's kind of like Jack Sparrow. He tells everyone he's a captain, but he hasn't got a boat to be a captain of yet. So we shall see how that goes throughout the season.
Okay. I just need to say, shiver me timbers. Before we go any further, and on to Roger.
Yeah, I also had a few concepts in mind, but I have settled on the idea of playing an ogre mercenary bodyguard, possibly type thing.
Excellent. So, yeah, for all those people who are hoping for Roger to play one of the fairer races, you're disappointed again, but I'm sure he'll be even better as an ogre. Okay, so what we're doing tonight is we're going to roll the characters up. I gave the group a little bit of a story to tie their background into, and if I can just pull it up, where have I got it? I can't find it. Anyway, what they're doing is they're in Marienburg and they're in a crowd, and the crowd is watching the execution of a famous pirate who goes by the name of Dagar. Someone help me out. Oberon, is it?
Yep.
Oberon.
That's the name you gave him.
Yeah. So he's up on the gallows. He's got the rope round his neck, and he's about to be hung by the neck. And the characters, all of them, will be in the crowd. So as part of their background, I've asked them to tie that into why they're there and how they know the pirate, or if they do know the pirate, or if they're just there for fun or whatever. So we shall start with, I'm going to start with Dan, because Dan knows what he's doing. Oh yeah, so you're going for the Norse Dwarf captain, yeah?
Yes, I am indeed. I am a Norse dwarf, and I will be playing as I will be using from the Sea of Claws book, the officer.
Excellent.
So unfortunately, Foundry doesn't have that, so I'm going to have to try and manually do some bits and pieces. But
yeah, that's a good point. So Roger's going to have the same problem as well, because the ogre from Archives 2 is not on there. Although I think Archives 2 might be on Foundry, so I might have to have a look to see if I can get hold of that. We'll whack that on. So for the people that are watching, what would we like Aaron to play? Is it going to be the Gnome Wizard or the Halfling Hunter?
So far, it looks like the gnome. Looks like the gnome is being called for. So yeah, I'm gonna play Vigo Hyde, the wizard.
Vigo, I've heard that before. Where have I heard Vigo from before?
I don't know.
Mortensen, I don't know.
Wasn't someone's character in Traveller called Vigo?
I'm sure I've heard of it. Never mind. Okay, so we've got a gnome wizard, a ogre. What are you, bodyguard?
I think I'm going soldier.
Or ogre soldier, and a Norse dwarf officer, captain. Yep. Okay. So, are you guys going to roll your stats?
Yes, indeed. Now, since I'm playing a gnome and gnomes aren't in here either, I'll be kind of jury-rigging my stuff a little bit too. And you're right. Vigo was my Traveller character name. That's why it was stuck in my head.
I knew it. I knew this.
So,
I was fairly certain your psionic character was called Vigo.
So I will be changing the gnome's name.
Use Vigo again. There's no harm in Vigo. Just seems that if people can use magic, you like to call them Vigo.
Yeah, it seems it just came to me that way. Yeah. But we will change our names. But yeah, so he'll be a gnome. No, not that anybody believes in gnomes, much like Skaven. So everybody will.
He's going to be a halfling wizard.
A skinny halfling. Yeah, very skinny halfling.
Yeah.
Trying to use the thing. Why can I not drag a dwarf stats into here?
Okay.
I don't like it. Character creation's not going great for me right now. Just a minute.
Yeah, so it's going to be maybe a short session tonight, but we're going to get the characters up and running, and then hopefully next week will be session 1. I'd like to say that I am very excited to be back in the old world.
Me too. I love it.
Yeah, I can't believe how much I have missed the place. And yeah, I think this will be a little bit different to our beloved Once Upon a Time, but we will be heading back there at some point. So please don't think we're finished with that. The guys were going into the tower, weren't they? So
that's right.
We will definitely be revisiting that.
That's gonna be that kind of night, is it? Cool.
I had great fun receiving stuff from Aaron over Discord. He sent me some warband stuff and things like that. That was absolutely shocking. So yeah, there's a few ideas.
Has anyone managed to drag their race into the thingy, my bob.
No, my race isn't.
Mine isn't there, so neither's Aaron's.
Yeah. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle. I think I might have actually. I think I may have
Dwarf should be here. Though.
Rough Days and Hard Nights, or whatever it's called, on here. I'm sure I have.
I've got my stats rolled now. I'm just
okay. As long as you're good.
And then after stats, it's been a while ago. I actually go back and take a look at the rule book and remember
Totally
how these things go. That's what 5 of your racial three sets of your racial skills at 5 and 3 at 3. And then your racial talents. All
I
right.
rely on Foundry to make characters. I'm not going to lie, audience. So when Foundry doesn't work, I'm a little bit stuck.
Well, shout out to my dear friend, and we shall help you through it. Yeah, think of us as a guide. Yeah, hold our hands, and we will guide you through the thing that is character creation.
Despite playing Warhammer a lot, I always just use the pre-gen stuff that's on the system. So making one from scratch is new for me.
I always find that we have a loose hold of the rules because most of the time we do talk crap. Yeah, so a lot of the time
that is
it's
true.
Playing
that is
and
true.
Talking away in and out of fights, which is good because then we don't have to roll many dice. Because when we roll dice, it's always bad for Jim.
That's true. That's true, and that's kind of why we like it.
Speaking of which, for this campaign, I think we're going to limit the success levels to 3 and see how we get on with that. We can move
advantages.
Yes, sorry, the advantages. Because the open-ended would just get ridiculous. So we'll just see how it goes. We maybe bring a couple more house rules in and just test them out and see how it goes. So.
What do you mean you didn't want to have +5 advantage or whatever it was for
I'm sure
the melee characters?
But if you're used to playing Warhammer Fantasy Battle, I'm sure if you bought the figures for Hagen and Mordek, that's all you'd have to field on the battlefield. Yeah,
they are hard charges. There's no doubt.
As they worked their way through the many ranks.
That is a fact. Hagen is tough. That's why I decided this time not to really play somebody combat oriented because
absolutely
he was just.
Also, for those of you that are watching, please, if you've got any ideas or any things that you think could fit, contact me on Discord, and I'll try and get bits and bobs in. I've got a couple of ideas for bad guys and bits and bobs like that, and a few NPCs as I normally do. But if you've got any sort of pirate, sea-based, or even Norse-based things, just get in touch. I'll give you the credit for it. I'll give you a shout out online. Always pleased to get you guys involved. So,
Jim, would you be okay with me swapping entertain storytelling for entertain singing?
Absolutely.
Thinking sea shanties would be more appropriate.
Fantastic. I couldn't agree more.
There's actually an entertain shanty skill. There's a talent for shanty, but there's also the skill entertain shanty.
Excellent. I think your character name ought to be Portland Bill.
All right, it's not in there yet, so I'll wait.
That you're not playing an ogre chef and calling yourself Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
Yeah. I was this close when Roger decided to play an ogre. I was like getting ready to pull the trigger on Ogre Butcher because I thought it would be hysterical. But that's all right. I think a gnome will be pretty funny too.
Oh, so we have got a couple of suggestions already. Can we have a cameo from those two brothers, death cultists? Does Weenie Sod have a seafaring cousin? Now there's an idea, isn't it? Yeah,
I hope so.
I hope so too. That's a thing. That's a thing of beauty. Oh, Weenie Sod.
You know, Weenie.
And the way I thought about it is as well. I mean, the override bad guy. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean have done dead. So I mean, that'd be the great thing, the ghost ships thing, but they've done that to death. So I've had a couple of ideas, and obviously we've got the chaos variant that we can lean on as well. But no, I've got a couple of ideas for certain pirates and things. So it should be good. It should be good. And I wonder if the Skaven are on the seas, maybe. Or...
You know, they are quite a few Skaven apparently rolled around the seas.
They also have submarines.
Yes, well, they've started. Well, some people have seen submarines. Maybe it's the dwarves. Maybe it's the Skaven. Who knows?
Oh, why won't it let me edit that? So useful in so many things.
Non-anomaly, you have got me thinking of a name now for Weenie's cousin. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Hey, a barber chef. Sorry, a barber pirate. Yeah, I have to think.
With the resistance talent, is there a way to say what you're resistant to?
You should be able to right click in the talent up in the title and put it in.
Edit item. Sorry, never mind. There it is.
So yeah, I think Dan, who plays Mordek, he's been thinking of a career called Shantyman. I'm not sure what race I think it might be human, but he had a couple of ideas that sounded good fitting. And a new player, Stu, he's thinking of playing an elven duelist. So that'll fit in with the pirate. I keep calling it pirates. The group are not going to be pirates. They're going to be seafarers. So they still will have very good intentions. Any evil acts will be punished. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if they happen upon a pile of gold, that might be someone else's. I'm sure they'll be picking that up and keeping it for themselves. But if it comes to slitting the throat of the innocent, then yeah, the group, I'm sure, will agree that they're not going to jack the clip off. Love it. Oh,
that is a good one.
Yeah, jack the clip off. Thank you very much.
That could be both him and his ship.
Yes.
All right. Yep. So Casimir Hyde. You don't think Hyde is probably really his last name, but his reason for being there is he's heard a rumor that that Dagger's part of Dagger's buried treasure might have some of his people's artifacts in it. One of the things that gnomes always search to do is retrieve anything of the Gnomi race so it can be returned to the burrows. So he's gone to try to see if he can coerce the pirate captain into speaking before he's hung. He may not make it in time, but
yeah. So he's going to be there in the crowd, might be on someone's shoulders or at the front, and yeah, his dreams are sinking, so to speak.
That's right. That is right. Of course, with gnomes, they're kind of hard to notice because I did take the suffused with Uglu talent, so he's always the shadowy winds are always surrounding him, so he's very hard to pick out normally.
Excellent. Yes, non-anomaly. Yes, I was going to use that, but you beat me to it. There'll be a few sinking ships with the Skaven jumping off them. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm loving Jack the Clipper. That's cool.
And I did go with the base wizard class instead of Shadowmancer because the Shadowmancer from the Wings of Magic seems to be something taught from the College of Magic by humans, so it really wouldn't work for a gnome. So I'm just going to stick with
Is he wearing a woolen nose warmer? We've been asked.
He is wearing a dark gray scarf over his face and a black slouch hat.
Excellent.
But his rather large ears and bulbous nose are still obvious, as well as his stormy gray eyes.
A mutated halfling. How very dare they?
Exactly. He's a skinny halfling. Not all halflings can be prosperous and good cooks. Every once in a while, somebody's got to be skinny.
Yeah, and also, people, tell us what you want to see as well. You know, do we need a kraken? Do we need
Calm
some
down.
form?
We're basic level at the moment. We're not ready for krakens yet.
Yeah,
We always need a kraken.
Never trust the skinny halfling. Absolutely 100% right on that.
That's a fact.
I think you can actually change that to never trust an Aaron. So
that's fair too. That's a fair.
Yeah. In game,
I would go with that.
I'm not disparaging Aaron's good name.
Other people do though, and I'm comfortable with that. Yeah. So when you're going at your career skills, you get 40 points to allocate over your career skills and 1 talent.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now I had a bit of a thought about this as well. I don't know what you think. So I was going to give you an extra skill or an extra advancement on character creation, or you could let that go and have some infamy, which would, carry a bit, on the season things. So, yeah, if you have a name that people know, or that you can forego your advancement for infamy, and that is purely a campaign thing.
I'd kind of rather we made our own name.
Say again?
I'd kind of rather we made our own name.
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
I mean, it's up to the others as well. But.
Yeah, but with infamy, obviously there'll be a couple of contacts there or something within the seedy taverns of the seas or the ports.
I mean, is that like a set skill, like from our list, or is it like sailing or?
What, the infamy?
No, you said we could have an extra advance.
Oh, you can have an extra advancement to your character. So, like, one of your career advancements you could have.
So like a skill or a talent, or?
Yeah, absolutely, anything you want.
Yeah, but how much of an advancement in a skill, for example?
Just one. So
a single point in a skill.
Say again.
So 1 point in a skill.
Yeah.
I mean, a talent's like 100 XP, and a skill advancement's like 5 or 10 or something.
We'll keep it as skill points then.
So 1 skill point.
Yeah.
Some dice, don't I? Somewhere here, I've got some D10s. Oh, where's Google? Google's always great for this. Give me old dice roller.
What are you looking for, Dan?
So I'm just getting a dice roller on Google D10s. Save me looking for my D10s.
You can use Discord as well.
Oh,
I can't bother with that. Okay, that is 2 D10s. So my first one is 17. So do we do it in order? So it's weapon skill to the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, piddly pokey. Right, so 17 for my first one.
Have you got your base stats for a dwarf?
No, I have no idea my base stats.
I'll turn to the page, mate.
But I think when I clicked on them here on the on the thingy, it came up with them. I think it's you start with 30.
Yeah, that's right.
So 30, 20, 20, 30, 20, 10, 30, 20, 40, 10. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
So just 2d10 to each.
Okay, so first one is 47 is my first one. Then roll for ballistic skill. Okay, that's a good roll, 16. Okay, thank you, Google Dice Rolling. So that's plus 20. So that's okay. Strength. This is where it gets 9. Great, cool. Strength is 29. That's
we have got. There is Archives of the Empire 2 on Foundry.
Oh, it is? That's cool.
Such a weak dwarf. Great.
But you're a strong officer.
Toughness plus 30, isn't it?
Oh.
20 agility, living my best life right now.
Excellent.
Dex. Intelligence plus 20. 28. I'm not a very smart captain. Great.
How tempting is it going to be to land in Lustria? I am absolutely gagging for that book.
Oh, yeah. So am I.
Absolutely.
That'd be so. I mean, the Sea of Claws, though, that's a really good book too. I
Yeah,
love how
it is definitely.
they laid out ship combat and weather and everything. That
Soldier a good book as well, isn't it? It's really good.
Yeah. Plus Up in Arms, what you were saying earlier with the different types of ships weapons you can add to it. Then, all we've got to do is build ourselves the perfect ship for Dan to captain. And then Jim to let a Leviathan destroy. I mean, I think it'll be awesome.
I mean,
you say you're not a very smart captain.
Yes.
Don't worry, I'm a very smart ogre.
That's fine. That's why you're appointed to the role you're appointed to.
I got a double 10 on my intelligence stat, which does only make it 30, so I don't start very high.
Oh, I got 28. Man, my stats look all over the place.
You will do. You're a dwarf.
Yeah.
Got very high and very low stats.
I'm not happy about my strength rating, but there you go. Such is life.
All right. That's why you're the captain, not the muscle.
Yeah, but I'm a dwarf. They're supposed to be strong. I'm surprised they start with only plus 20 in that. Oh well, I'm tough. Okay. We've got some. How do I calculate like move and things like that, and fate and resilience?
Your move is 3 because you're a dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah.
You start with 2 resilience, and then you can allocate 2 more to either resilience or fate. Strongly suggest fate.
Okay, so I can just give 2 to
fate. So basically 2 fate, 2 resilience, unless you'd rather have more resilience and less fate.
I don't know what either of those 2 things do, so I'll just do what you've said.
Fate's the one that stops you dying.
Cool. What's fortune and resolve?
They'll be exactly the same as fate and resilience at this stage.
No, but I've got a talent. Doesn't that give me something?
If you've got a talent that gives you an extra one, that'll be on top.
Does it automatically do it? I don't know.
Probably. It should have defaulted to 2 base.
It didn't. It hasn't done any of the stuff. I'm having to do it because I haven't even got a career. It won't let me actually enter my class or career manually. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I can't type in class, career, or career group or anything like that. It won't let me type in it.
Any ideas?
No, I was able to type mine in, but
I've not been able, and I've not been able to find one of the core ones that sort of are close to, because the officer one in the core book is actually a level 4 one, and obviously comes with lots of wonderful things.
What's the level 1 version of an officer?
Soldier, and it doesn't have the
Yeah.
You know, you could probably pull over seaman and then just make the changes because it will probably be relatively close to the.
Is there a seaman? Is there a seaman? Is there?
Should be.
Seaman. Ah, that's level 2.
Oh, what's the level 1 of that? Level 1 of seaman.
Just see if that matches my officer. He's got some weird things. He's got athletics, which is a weird thing for a dwarf to have.
Athletics is literally just doing physical stuff, so that's actually quite good, quite sensible for a dwarf.
Landsman is the first career for seaman, but greenfish or river warden's river recruit might be close too. It's got the row sail swim stuff.
Well, my Norse dwarf gets a lot of those talents anyway. So I'll have a look at those then. River recruit. Is that what we're talking about? River.
Aren't there trappings based on your career, not your direct career, your career type as well?
Yeah, you get your career type and then your class beginning trappings.
So where's the class beginning trappings?
It is on page.
No, that doesn't. That's not.
Where is class trappings are on page 37.
Ah, great. Cheers.
No worries.
Oh,
Loads dagger.
Oh mate, I'm so confused about what's going on right now.
Are you okay, Dan?
Nope. I have no idea what I've done. I've rolled my things.
Yeah.
Rolled my things. I've got my core dwarf talents or the Norse dwarf talents. And
Yeah.
I've done the 6 with 5 and the 3 with 3. What comes next? Because I can't, there's no career that doesn't have any of the talents for ship officer. So
Oh, you don't have to worry about the talents. The talents you can just drag over from.
no, they don't have that. None of the packages have the traits packages either. So I might have to just drag all the traits in as well. It's not a problem. I just need to know what I'm doing in terms of putting the traits in.
Let me just have a quick look.
Because I've got the traits list here. Obviously, you don't obviously do anything when they match what you've already got.
Yeah.
Like, is there like do I pick so many to put some skills in and whatnot?
Let me just have a quick look.
So yeah, for all your class skills, you get a total of 40 points that you can spread amongst those 8 skills. However,
right. So I can put those. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. I can do that.
Yeah, you can put those advancements however you want, and you get 5 points to spread amongst your attributes for your level 1 of your career.
Oh, so my sort of level 1 career, which is for me is weapon skill, intelligence, and fellowship. I can put 5 across that.
Yeah, a total of 5 spread across however you want.
5 total points, Dan, not 5 in each.
No, yeah, that's fine. That's
sorry,
fine.
I was just checking you.
No, that's fine. So that's 3, and then that's easy because then that gives me 2, brings those 2 stats up to 30 because my weapon skill is already 47, so that's fine. Right, and then 40 points to spend across these talents here. Right, I'm with you. So we've got. I'm pretty sure I've got all of these in here. If I took 5 points as an advancement for one of my 6, can I put another 5? So can I put some of my 40 points on the same skill?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I can make myself. Okay, cool. That's kind of cool.
But you can't take it above 10, just so you're aware.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, cool. I remember there was a limit on it somewhere. It's been a long time since I built a Warhammer character, but that's fine.
Time to pick some petty magic spells. Looking forward to some magical miscasts in the near future.
Up in Arms is on Foundry as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I always used to love petty magic in First Ed. It was great.
I always found that I'd always got big ideas of becoming a demonologist in first edition.
Yeah.
But I'd never dare cast any spells. So it's just a case of creeping around and threatening to cast and then hiding. Or actually not even threatening to cast, because if people found out you're a wizard, they'd burn you at the stake as well. So it was just a case of walking around, not being a wizard, as a wizard. It was great.
I love how like sailing is based on agility, and I'm a dwarf, so that's just not a thing.
That's why you order other people to do this. You
But
to the lines.
I always find that
It's all right.
if
Most
you
of us
put a
aren't
great big
trained in it.
piece of wood or a battering ram at the front of it, you don't really need agility.
It's
Just,
true, true,
just
true.
sail it straight.
It's 15. Okay.
This will be interesting, playing a game based at sea when none of us are going to be good at sailing.
I'm doing my best. Yeah, I've got like yeah. You know what, Rob?
Hey, you're the only one of us I think that will be able to take it. So.
Yeah, that is a very good point.
I do have sail.
I find that it's a great plot device for me to take you wherever I want.
Yeah.
Which way are you going? We're going to try and go that way. Roll it. Oh no!
Yeah,
Where are we going, Jim?
Yeah, there's a storm. Yeah, when it stops raining and you know, you find yourself you have been landlocked on Middenheim. There you go.
I think we're bad enough. It wouldn't need to be a storm. Maybe a slight breeze.
Yeah.
5 more points to put somewhere. Outdoor survival. Perception.
Oh, I need to stop looking at the Cubicle 7 website. There's Wrath and Glory stuff for Foundry as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to trying their new one.
Yeah, totally. Can't wait for it to come out. But I have to say, I wasn't a convert until I played Wrath and Glory last night. I enjoyed it. It was good.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a nice system. I really like it for Soulbound.
Yeah.
So
I did enjoy
very
it.
cool. It's very, very, very cool. Talents, right? Let's find these remaining talents. Etiquette, crew.
Funny.
Can't believe you've been told to behave yourself, Roger, already.
It won't last, don't worry. I think that may have been reference to me giggling when you were talking about a certain career.
Seaman.
Might have been.
Could have been. I was quite tempted to have a ship called the Baby's Arm, but no. It's not gonna be.
Well, if Dan's a captain, can he choose the name and say choose the Baby's Arm?
Yes, well, no.
Okay. Done that.
So we need to.
What is this? Choice between orientation and sea legs. Orientation and then sea legs. Okay, now what's do I have points to spend? Do I have to spend points to activate talents? I can't remember of this. So
You get 1 talent from your career.
Get 1 talent from my career, and what about from my Norse dwarfiness?
Yeah, you get the dwarf talents.
So you get all the dwarf talents.
Unless it says one or the other.
Yes, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I only get. Okay, so if I only get one of those talents, I think I put them in here and I can make them not active, can't I?
Yeah.
Because I can buy them at a later date, can't I?
The inactive ones will just pop up they'll just appear and then you can activate them for your class.
I'm having to drag and drop them, aren't I? Because I don't have a class.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll just delete the ones I'm not using right now. I feel like read and write is important for a captain looking at maps. So see. I think I'm going to go orientation because that also feels like quite important too. That's fine. I'll leave the other talents for now in the officer side of things. And then, Jim, you said something about a 3 point in something. Is that what I heard earlier?
Yeah, have an extra advancement in one of your skills.
Okay, cool. So that's just like 1 point to drop in one of those, like cool or something like that, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
and I'm assuming that can't take us above 10.
No.
That's fine. I have no
10 is a limit.
We got something that's actually that would be quite. One other classy bitsy pieces. I think we're done. So I'm a midshipman. Leadership. We're already got the 10 limit there.
All right, I think I've got my gnome wizard in.
Excellent.
I didn't really factor in the not really having any sailors aboard our party. That's making me rethink some things. But
I've got sail 30. We're absolutely fine.
We've got Craggy, and there's likely there is going to be a obvious NPC that will be able to help you to start with, but.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Absolutely.
There is some NPCs from Death on the Reich on Foundry that are called sailing crew. So, mind you, that's mainly riverway sailing.
Well, we shall see. But yes, Casimir Hyde is in here. He's not really tough. I go through. So he's a gnome. So I mean he's only 4 foot 2 inches tall and about 100 pounds. He's got black hair and gray eyes. His weapon skill is 34. His ballistic skill is 22. His strength is 20. His toughness is 30, but now we're starting to get into some things he's good at. So his initiative is 44.
That's good.
His agility is 48.
Loving it.
His dexterity is 40. His intelligence is 50. His willpower is 62, and his fellowship is 28.
Excellent. And how do gnomes do for resilience? Fate.
It's 2 and 2. I've got. Well, I mean, they've got resilience, but I've got 2 spare points, so I'm 2 and 2 in resilience and fate. My movement is actually 3, but it defaulted to 4. Okay, I changed it. And my wounds, I don't get as many wounds as a normal character, so my wounds are only 12 instead of 14.
Do I get any bonuses for being a dwarf on that front?
For wounds for a dwarf,
You'll be quite high as a dwarf because of your really high willpower stat.
Oh, is that what it's based on?
Willpower
it's a mixture of strength, toughness, and willpower.
Yeah.
So because dwarves get really high toughness and willpower, they have tons of wounds.
So I have 15 wounds. Does that sound about right for a dwarf?
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. If I didn't have a high willpower, because the strength modifier doesn't count for gnomes, it's just toughness and your willpower bonus. So yeah, I'm at 12. I don't know why that won't go down though.
I think it's because it's calculating it automatically.
Yeah, I'll see if I can fix it. So for talents, luck, read, write, second sight, suffused with Ooglu, which is a kind of cool talent for gnomes. So anytime I cast magic that uses the Wind of Shadows, I get +1 SL for that. And I can use my channel skill in place of stealth for my stealth rolls. That's why I was saying he's kind of shadowy and hard to notice. And then, of course, I picked up petty magic. And the spells I selected, I got 6 spells because my willpower is 60. Dart, Drain, Eavesdrop, Open Lock, Protection from Rain, because he's going to be out at sea, and I think he probably doesn't like to get as wet as much as some of the other sea people, and Purify Water.
Excellent.
He is utterly ineffective in hand-to-hand combat or ranged combat, so probably won't see him running into the fray like you might have seen Hagen.
It's all right. He can sit on my shoulder.
No, he's not going to be anywhere near the front line. You go ahead. You do your thing. I'll stay far in the back. But that's him in a nutshell. Unless I have a major change of heart between now and next week, that's who we'll see. Casimir Hyde.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much all done. So kind of at the opposite end of the scale, quite literally, to Aaron's gnome. We've got Torgata Beast Killer, who is a 8'3" ogre with black hair and purple black eyes, with weapon skill 47, ballistic skill 25, strength 50, toughness 50, initiative 16, agility 27, dexterity 19, intelligence 30, willpower 36, and fellowship 25. He's got 18 wounds, 3 resolve and 3 resilience and 1 fate, and movement 6. And talents, he's got dirty fighting, resistance to chaos, resistance to poison, very strong warrior born, and 2 that I couldn't add at the moment, large and vice food. I can't add those just yet because they don't exist on Foundry.
Cool.
Okay. Does that mean it's me now?
Yes.
If you're ready, and I'll come up with more backstory later.
I think so. So we have Craggy Sternhelm. He's a Norse dwarf. So, beautifully plaited beard, as you expect for a dwarf. It's very well maintained. He's on a slightly tallerish side for a dwarf, but not much taller. He's almost as sort of broad as he is tall. He's got deep brown eyes, almost black, probably from being, sort of years of in tunnels and stuff. But his weapon skill is 47. His ballistic skill is 46. His strength is 29. His toughness is 45. His initiative is 29. His agility is 20. So he's not very agile, as you would expect. His dexterity is 44. His intelligence is 28. His willpower is 57, and his fellowship is 27. But I also put my 5 points. I put 2 in intelligence and 3 in fellowship to bring those both up to 30. So he's sort of kind of leaderish. He's got 2 fortune, 2 fate, 2 resilience, 2 fortune, and he has 3 resolve because one of my talents is gives him basically a bonus to his resolve that gets better. He's got lots of skills, and we'll see those come into play over the game. He's got magic resistance, night vision because he's a dwarf, read and write, strong-minded, which is the bonus to his resolve equal to the level of strong-minded, sturdy, which obviously lets him carry loads of extra stuff. And his career talent he chose was orientation, which means he always knows which way is north. So you have an intrinsical feel for the direction. You automatically know which direction is north with a glimpse of the stars, trees, or whatever other signs you're familiar with. So I thought that was kind of important at sea if we're going sailing, knowing that kind of stuff.
I would say so.
And yeah, so saw where he kind of did his skill dumps were in things like sail and things like that, trying to make it a little bit better for sailing. But yeah, you go. That's Craggy Sternhelm, the wannabe Captain Craggy Sternhelm, or was a captain once upon a time. And he's hunting Dagger because Dagger sank his ship, and he swore an oath of vengeance. So he's actually in Marienburg to try and kill Dagger before he gets hung. We shall see how that goes.
Yes, we like it. We like it. We like it. Okay, so are we done?
I think so. Apart from trappings, I think I'm all done. Yeah, I just need to drop some trappings in.
Obviously, hand weapon. If you want a cutlass, then go for it.
I mean, I've called it a cutlass, but it's a hand weapon.
A carving knife. Yeah. I am really looking forward to Roger playing an ogre. It should be cool.
Ogres are known for their giant clubs too. They got some cool abilities on the ogre clubs in the book. You get to select the different type you want.
Oh, I reckon he ought to carry a giant all around with him and just like smack people with it.
That would be amazing.
Or from a war galley, he just thinks it's his own. It thinks it's his ogre's club.
Hey, no,
you
it's a very intelligent ogre.
Put giant shark teeth in the sides of the oar, and you can have a good old fashioned Polynesian war club. That'd be nice.
He's going to be an imperial ogre rather than one from the mountains of Morn.
Excellent, love it. Yeah, so one thing that you will know, Dan, is that when Dagger sunk your ship, you've got a bit of a your first mate had got wandering loyalty, but he always seems to be coming back to you. Rory Best is his name. So and he's your mate. So
Rory Best. Let me put that in my notes.
Yeah, so
Rory Best is a semi-treacherous first mate, is he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's not treacherous, but he does seem to like to stay on the winning side more than anything.
Yeah, that's a dwarf is treacherous.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna play around between now and next week with the idea of making a seafaring character too, just in case. Have the two options and make a decision game time, because
I mean, do you want me to make another character sheet available to you, buddy?
Yeah. If you dump another one in there, I might make another character on the side just to see. I did have an idea of a wrecker who might find faith in Manan down the road.
Okay.
So I do like the sailor priest of Manan, but maybe start with something a little bit more cutthroaty. I was very turned off by Manan, but then I was reading some of the lore after I finished my character up, and I was like, he's not too bad. He's got some vicious and vileness to him that without going the evil of Stromfels.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't think any of the gods are all nicey other than possibly Shalia, but
yeah, she is pretty nicey. Even her write-up in the Archives 3 is like basically like, you're not gonna punch anybody, dude.
Unless they're Nurgle. You gotta have your standards.
Oh, could you imagine a Nurgle boat?
Oh yeah, I can actually. I have a feeling
that sounds awful.
I'll see it. Well, they've got in the Sea of Claws, one of the NPCs at the back is a Skaven pirate captain, and I think he's got some plague rats with him or something. I'm not saying we'd ever see anything as horrendous as that, but if you tune in, who knows?
I'm sure I can come up with something equally as good as that.
I have no doubt. I'm just excited. I'm excited to be playing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay again, and
absolutely.
And I think it's going to be kind of fun. I mean, I enjoy Hagen and I enjoy playing in the Empire, but it'll be kind of nice to be on the outskirts of the Empire where,
And,
rules are a little looser.
There's nothing saying we can't, end up there or whatever. You know what I mean? You might want to go to Altdorf. You might want to go to Middenheim. It's there.
I mean, you can sail there. Well, to Altdorf, not Middenheim.
Yeah.
I just think we need to, take our pirate ship and attack the Drugi and go after the Dark Elves. Let's have some fun.
Bold. I'm hoping we'll get a source book for Tilia and Estalia. Because
that'd be excellent.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be a lot of fun.
Go to somewhere like Miragliano. That'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I would snap that book up in a heartbeat.
Yeah, especially if they kind of covered like Sartoga as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sartosa, sorry.
Sartosa, yep.
Definitely not the other one, because that would be a real place.
Oh, wunderbar. So yeah, I think I'm all set on Craggy. I think he's Jim. Instead of a normal melee weapon, can you have a great axe due to some of that background stuff I sent you the other day?
Yeah, Kushka.
Thank you. For the viewers at home, the great axe is what's left of his sunken ship. He had it forged as a grudge axe. It's there to kill Dagger.
I love it.
It was the scraps of the central strut and the metal that was left from his boat, which he was very unhappy that he survived its sinking, because a captain should go down with his ship. And he went down. He went down with his ship, and he woke up on shore a few days later, and he's not sure if it's a cruel joke by the ancestors or he's chosen. He can't make up his mind, but he needs to deal with this vengeance first. Trappings. What's a uniform when it's at home?
It's literally exactly as it sounds, Dan. You have a uniform.
I don't like the sound of that. I'm a dwarf. Why am I not wearing armor?
Just flouncy clothes.
I don't want to wear flouncy clothes. That does not sound at all.
Well,
we may have to have a discussion outside of this about what clothes I'm wearing, Jim.
Well, you've got what you start out as silver. You start out as silver once. You have a fair amount of cash on hand to spend on some armor if you want.
Yeah, you'll get D10 silver pieces. Probably not enough to buy any armor.
Not enough to buy any armor. Okay,
probably not.
But you have wooden armor by just going and buy some planks of wood.
But again, you don't tend to wear a lot of metal armor when you're at sea.
He's a dwarf. He doesn't care about drowning in the water. He cares about being a dwarf.
Rust.
Doesn't care. Norse dwarfs don't care. They wear metal armor on their boats. They just assume that if their boat sinks, they're meant to die. So it's just a.
That's true. That's a good point.
Do they still have the rules in the game for like the more armor you're wearing, the more likely you are just to immediately drown?
Yeah.
Well, I know back in second ed, if you were wearing plate mail, that was it. You just die. It's just like, nope, sucks to be you. You're drowning.
I think that was virtually going to be the case, really, to be fair.
I mean, even if that's not a rule, I absolutely would play it as such. If any of us wear plate and we fell in the water, that's it, we're done. Oh, yeah. There's no survival.
I am absolutely wounded that you've not got a wooden leg. I think that's...
Well, that could be changed with one critical hit. So
I was going to say, we'll see how the campaign goes, because if the leg gets removed, it might need to be wooden. Oh, I can't imagine a dwarf having a wooden leg. I imagine it'd be have like a piston leg or something like
that. Yeah. Or an axe.
Dwarves do have wooden legs. I don't know if you remember Long Drong Slayer pirates.
Oh yeah, I remember the Long Drong Slayer pirates.
The old Dogs of War unit. Yeah, some of them had wooden peg legs.
Didn't one of Bookman's Dwarf Rangers have a wooden leg as well?
Possibly. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, I know definitely one of Long Drong Slayer pirates did. It might have even been him.
Yeah, God, I remember that set as well. They were like bits like Slayers, weren't they?
Yeah, they're Slayer pirates.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they've got like eye patches and they have pistols.
That's right, pistols and cutlasses.
Not anomaly said a wooden leg with whiskey storage in the side. I think that's the only way to go.
Oh my God, yes.
A barrel leg with a tap on the side of it. Yes.
I think that would have to be Roger's character because even that might be a bit big for a dwarf.
An ogre fishing rod, love it.
I like the look of the ogre clubs. They're quite cool. That it's basically a hand weapon, but you pick like an extra thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You get to customize your club.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a gold piece to buy one.
Yeah, give it time. We'll be pirates. We'll find some cash.
We'll be good pirates. We'll be privateers.
Privateers.
It's
you could be a pirate. You just you don't necessarily have to kill all the people you rob. You just take their money.
It's all right. If they're Bretonian, does it count?
That's a very good question.
Bretonian pirates. Or Bretonian traders.
Originally, my first character idea was a Bretonian, like Knight of Manan, basically from Bordeaux. That was my original character idea. Before I was like, I've never played a dwarf in Warhammer, and I've always wanted to play one. So,
the Huts has said a keg leg. That is excellent.
Keg leg.
Keg leg. Brilliant.
If any of us ever lose a leg, we're getting a keg leg, and then we will get definitely. You'll definitely have to be then known as your character name, Keg Leg.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Your character's a dwarf, Dan. You could probably make one.
No, he's not an engineer in any way, shape, or form. He's got none. Because also, like, he's unlike the normal dwarfs, he doesn't get any like crafting talents like a normal dwarf.
He doesn't get a trade skill.
No, he doesn't get a trade skill. He's a Norse dwarf. They don't get it. Instead, I get like things like drinking lots. What's their talents? Because they get like carousal and something like that as well. It's just a bit.
Well, consume alcohol dwarves get as well.
Yeah, but I've put 10 points in that because lore-wise, even the dwarves think the Norse dwarves drink too much.
Yeah.
So I thought it's got to be done.
Do you reckon he can tackle some Mootland murder?
Nobody can tackle Mootland murder. We've seen that.
Certainly not dwarves.
Yeah. Only an elf can handle that stuff.
Yeah, so he's got things like so he's got sail, he's got trade, as in trading, he's got language Norse and language Kalazid, so he can talk both, and he's got entertain storytelling, so he can tell some stories.
Every good captain should be able to.
Yeah. So Norse dwarfs are a little bit different to normal dwarf.
Are they in archives too?
No, they're in the Sea of Claws book.
Sea of Claws.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like literally a little footnote on the top of one of the pages when you're going when you're reading through all the lore stuff for the Norse dwarf. There's this little thing that says Norse dwarf characters, and it's like literally this tiny little bit on the top right hand corner of the book.
See, I do like that they're including those things, like the rules for Imperial dwarfs. I think are in Archives 1, which I thought was really cool because some of the I don't know if you remember the really old models for them. They were brilliant. It's like they're the only dwarves you'll see with a sword, that sort of thing. They were great.
Loved Imperial.
And the big kind of like Empire flouncy clothing. I thought that was wicked.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I like it a lot. I was reading all of the Norse dwarf lore yesterday in this book as well. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Sea of Claws is a great book.
Yeah, no, it is a really great book.
And I haven't even really. I've only just scratched the surface on everything about seamanship and building your ships and sea combat and all of that. It's just there's just so much to it. As soon as we steal a boat or buy a boat, but more than likely steal a boat. They've got some good stuff in here. They've got some good stuff in here for like dwarf boats too, with steam engines and all kinds of fun stuff.
See, that's one of the fun things I like about the Norse dwarfs. They've got like a completely different, like they're more Viking-y boats than they are. So with dwarfs rowing rather than having steam engines and stuff, which I thought was quite cool.
Cooler. So are we about done?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we're-
I think we're
Excellent.
all done.
So, yeah, I know it's a bit of a weird one tonight, but yeah. So we have 3 characters done of the group. I'll try and get together with the others before. I think we may have Stu before for first session, so that'll be good. I'll get his character sorted with him over the weekend. And when Dan M comes and joins us, yeah, the group will be complete. But we will be starting next Wednesday. So come hell or high water, so to speak. You salty sea dogs. Yeah, we should be. Yeah, we should be starting. So from me, thank you all very much for joining us. I know it's a little bit of a short one tonight and a little bit of a weird one, but session zeros can be like that. Please join us next week for this brand new campaign. And like I said, if you have any ideas or things that you'd like to see, send them me in Discord. Go by the name of Gotlag in Discord. And yeah, send them me and I'll try and fit some of it in. I won't promise, but if I do put it in, I will shout you out and let you guys know that whose idea it was. I think we've had a really good one so far. Jack the Clipper definitely might be making an appearance.
That's fantastic.
And of course, you've given me something to think about with Weenie Sod's brother or cousin. But yeah, yeah, I like it very much. But yes, so please join us next week. I have been your Warhammer GM and Captain of the Seas, Yar. And these have been my players. Please join us on Discord. Lots of conversations and discussions on there. Great community. What have we got on for the rest of the week? Have we got Star Wars tomorrow?
Should be, I believe so.
Yeah,
Star Wars tomorrow, yep.
How about America-wise? Have we got anything tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, we should be back for another session of Akhum Cthulhu, Shadows of Atlantis. We're going to be down one person who has COVID, but I think we're still going to go ahead and push on. Are
they okay?
Yeah. He's just a little under. It's Jeff. He's just a little under the weather. But we will be pushing on in Honduras.
Okay.
Before the epic conclusion in
how
Iceland
did your Conan go, by the way, the other night? Did it go well? Was it Conan you were doing, Aaron?
Oh yeah. So every other Friday over on the Lollygaggers, every other Friday night North American time, I'm running Conan, and they're of course the party split up into 3 different groups, and they're all in their own shenanigans, and a couple of them, who knows, may die.
Excellent.
Tune in and check it out.
Doom Master, I love that. Doom
Master.
Master. And going into next week, Tuesday, have we got Coriolis? Yeah,
I believe so.
So yeah, great game with Millie and Pete and the crew. But yeah, if you've not seen that yet, definitely give that a view because it is a great game. Been going on for a while, I think now. But yeah, please join us next week. It's been a pleasure. It will be a proper session next week, so we'll be diving straight into the sea, getting salt all over us, and yeah, it'll be great. Honestly, yar. Okay. So yes, we will see you next week, you salty sea dogs. Yeah, see you next week, guys. Thank you very much.
Good night.
See you guys.
Yeah.